Hi, welcome to this Open Security Summit session on OSS membership levels and the first batch of 2021 awards. This is our sort of first of many. You know, we don't have everybody here that deserves an award. Just to be clear, this is again we DevOps in this. You know, we're making an interactive process, so we pick a first batch of amazing individuals. And then we're going to do another one in 3 months' time, and then and it will get better, and even the stuff that happens as a member gets better as we go along. So what we've done was, in an effort to identify and to really give back to the community that has been supporting and being basically maintaining the Open Security Summit for the good last couple of years, we had this idea of assigning memberships, right? So the logic is that we want to have and basically to give something back to the team, but also to create something that you can basically link from your CV that can keep track of the stuff that you're doing, and basically something that you're kind of proud of. So we've come up with these sort of 3 levels of membership levels that get awarded, kind of like a badge, right? A bit like the little badges you get as contributing. So we have the citizen, which is somebody who's involved, comes to a bunch of sessions, maybe done a session or 2, right? Who's basically active part of the the Open Security Summit community. Then we have the Sidekicks, which is, you will recognize their names. They tend to be, in a lot of the summits, they tend to be really, really involved, and they do quite a good number of sessions throughout the year. And by the way, the idea is to do this as a yearly thing. So you get given, on the year that you're kind of active, you get given this sort of membership level. And we want to go back in time, because there's literally a number of people that have been involved for the last 5 or even 7 years, depends how we count it, right? So we really want to reward and go back and say, this person was amazing, in 2020 or 2019, and then this person maybe was on 2021, and then on 2022 didn't have a lot of time or whatever. So we want to make sure we reward also the individual. So every year we kind of issue one of these. So hopefully for the more active ones, you get lots of little badges, right? Which could be quite cool. And then we got the Sidekicks, the ones that are really sort of quite involved. And then we sort of have this sort of superhero one, which is the ones that have really gone way and beyond and have done a lot of differences. And then and we kind of want to use them to even for some special individuals. And again, I'm not saying that the list we have here is final. It's just we just picked the kind of the very big ones to start with. So any questions so far? Okay.
Did you mean so this is for the efforts in 2021? Yes,
that just finished.
Thank you.
And we're mapping this, right? And then we will go back in time. We just need to do a better maths and a better model to connect all the dots, right? And again, if you spot any mistakes, let us know that of course all this is there's a little margin of error. Good old maps. Yes, we need to do a good mapping, Gemma. Right? It's actually a graph, right? This is more of a graph than a map, right? The relationships and the points and everything that goes into it, right? One of the things that I really think is quite important that we want to create is a page that is a very good representation of a lot of the work that you've done, a lot of the work that has been created, right? Because I feel that a lot of individuals do put a lot of sessions in, and it's a good, even for you, a good track record of how did you find. I think it was Mara that we were talking once, and you were like, "Well, I've done a lot of sessions already here, right?" It's good to actually be able to track them back, right, and to keep a good view. So, without further ado, let's kind of look at first our superheroes, and the first one is Gemma, right? Because Gemma, it is undoubtedly one of the rocks of the summit, right? Gemma has, she has something with, which for some of you who have worked with me before is she really is able to control me. Is able to really, I think we work really well together. I do drive her crazy a little bit, but
just the threat of Gemma is enough to control you in all fairness.
I was going to say, I hear that sometimes you're threatened that people are going to set me on you.
Gemma is definitely, I agree with you, that is definitely the backbone, right? And she she has an amazing ability to be rational, to really, implement and execute, right? She's an amazing, and to be fair, like she single-handed set up the summit sort of organization. She made it all happen. She made sure everything we did was super legal, and we are, right? Since this is a recording, everything we do is really well done. And but yeah, so for me, a big sort of clap for Gemma, right? And for for her contributions to the years on this. So thanks, Gemma.
Oh, you're welcome.
Any speeches you want to make?
Gemma.
I didn't realize I was going to be put on the spot. No, I guess, God, when did we start this journey? 2017, I think.
Gemma was hired for the first one of the summits with 2 days notice. Just, she was hired on a Wednesday for a summit that was supposed to start on a Monday. And because she responded so fast, I went, oh, cool, can you pop it on Friday? So she literally joined the summit 2018, right? 2017.
2017, right? Yeah.
17 with literally 2 days notice. Pack her bag and join the summit.
I didn't even pack a bag. I drove to a store that sold clothes, and I put the clothes from the store in my car, and then I drove to the summit. So yeah, I could have ended up wearing all sorts of crazy stuff, but yeah, I think I got a message at 7:30 in the morning and saying like, hey, are you available? Do you want to talk about this? And then Dinis and I spoke at 3:30 in the afternoon, and that was my first experience of Dinis talking at me while screen sharing some code that he was writing, and I still agreed, and and then we lived in a house together for 10 days. And Dinis at that point was allowed to talk to me for 2 minutes if he was holding the talking stick, and if he wasn't, then he couldn't speak to me, and that started our relationship. So yeah, like back then I was like, what is this crazy guy and what's he doing? And now it's such a cool thing to be involved in, and I'm pleased that like we're recognizing each other. So
cool. Right, and so the next one, and actually I just realized, Dina, you're gonna know from me to shame here. Is it 21 or 2020 that you were insanely involved? 2020. I knew that. I just realized when you asked that question, I was like, yeah, that was 2020, wasn't it? Don't worry, you deserve it, right? So,
but I think did enough at the start of 2021 to warrant this. I think just because there's been other things. Beginning the first, however long it was, when I was just being broken into the Open Security Summit, I think did a lot to help me.
That's nice of you to say. Thank you.
So Dida really way beyond, right? She was, especially in the 2020 summit, which you'll get another batch for that, Dida, but this one you deserve it too, right? And I feel that it also represents a great example of a synergy where I feel that she also got a lot out of the summit. She learned a lot. She was involved. I really saw her come out of her shell, right, during the summit, and then you definitely made a massive difference.
And it helped me so much. So yeah, it was, as you said, it was very mutually beneficial arrangement. I learned a lot. I picked the topics that I was interested, found the best people to talk about them, and I learned. Yeah, it was great.
And one of my favorite bits was when you kind of realized that we could invite people by just making up sessions and then telling them, hey, look, I think you'd be interested in this session. And then they go, oh yeah, that sounds interesting. And there was the people that we wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So it works really well. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And the final one, which is not here, is Felipe, which has been another big backbone in actually making sure the summit website works and is still operational, and fixing bugs and solving all sorts of issues that Alona and Kate and building the CI pipeline that we now have in the summit. So I don't think he's here, but he definitely deserves a massive shout out. So we want to recognize Felipe. And a lot of you, I think all of you probably work, actually maybe not maybe the more recent ones, but you probably all have interacted with Felipe in some time in the past.
Yeah, he was our technical guru.
Yeah,
he probably had a session with each of us when we first initially joined to show us how GitHub works and stuff.
And actually, if I remember correctly, the first time I met Felipe, he had flown from where he lives, like somewhere in South America, right? So he did a transatlantic flight. He landed in the summit. I actually had to drive home from Center Parcs because one of my daughters were on a theater play, and I really want to see that. So what I believe I did with Felipe was, and I was like, I need somebody to help me coding the site, because at the time we were still building the first version of the engine. And Felipe says, cool, I can help. So he literally came with me in the car where I was explaining to him how the site worked. I parked him in the Cafe Nero, right, where I went to basically, go and see the show. And then I came back and we continued, and I drove him back to the summit. So I think that was the initialization of Felipe in the summit code.
So you basically kidnapped him.
And yeah, well, he had free will, right? He could have always bailed out at any moment in time. Right? He could have flown back. He was actually closer to Heathrow from where he was in that Cafe Nero than in Center Parcs. So he could have bailed out at that moment in time.
But he didn't know that. He didn't know London.
Yeah, so he was literally sitting in the Cafe Nero helping to implement the first version. I believe that was in Jekyll, that first version of, or maybe Hugo, one of the first versions of the Summit site. So cool. Now let's look at the sidekicks, right? Which is the ones that really have also made an insane difference, right? In us, right? So Alana is one of them who have, and I'm sure all of you have met and interacted and got help from Alana. She really has made a massive difference. She understands. She's been keeping up a lot of the site updates. She's probably has one of the most amount of commits on a site, and she's definitely hosted a whole number of sessions, and I think has also represents a great part of the engine that keeps the summit running, right? So Alana, do you want to say a couple of words?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Guitar really helped me a lot when I started with the summit, and also Felipe then. I'm really happy to be a part of this community, and tried my very best to be of help to this community and to everyone. So I really tried my very best to get more traffic, especially for these sessions. And yeah, it was fun. And known a lot of great people like you, and especially in the cyber security community, which is new to me, but then found it so amazing, and known great people, amazing people, and very intelligent people, and yeah, love all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, and especially Dinis. He's so patient with me. Thank you, Dinis. Thank you.
That's all right. No, you guys keep, you make time. You keep it alive and you keep it going, and like this summit is a great example. Like you work with the participants, you work with the presenters, you made everybody feel special. It's really, really good. So thanks. So the other one that is part of the team that has been behind the scenes, also do a huge amount of work, is Adam, and we got Adam, I think, also here. Adam is the one that is responsible for basically most of our social media posts. Is responsible for a lot of those nice banners that we have, and he really, again, I think it's helped to really promote the summit, and has single-handedly built, I think, our YouTube channel, and is now working a lot of those little nuggets and segments of the summit, which is really cool. So Adam, congratulations. Do you want to say a couple of things? Oh, I think we lost him. Anyway, but he definitely deserves a big thanks from everybody, right? And he's basically, again, like I said, single-handedly doing a lot of our social media stuff and activities. Then we have Katie. right? Another one of the backbone of the team that, really again keeps everything going, and he really kind of makes a massive difference, right, Kate? And I don't drive you crazy too much, right?
You're not too bad. I can just about cope with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Katie again, keeps everything running really, really smoothly. Drives a lot of the activities. So a big part of the summit backbone. So I don't think we got Georgina here. Georgina helped a lot last year with a lot of the sessions. She was doing a lot of the logistics too, and was quite involved in a lot of the summits we organized last year. So congratulations. Thank you, Georgina. I don't think she's here. So I'll go. Oh, Petra, you still here? Just lost her. She just left.
Just left.
Okay. So Petra, actually, if you've seen the session that she did today, she's a great contributor. She does a huge amount of sessions. It's also one of those amazing cases where you can almost see her progression by seeing the different Open Security Summit sessions. So you can see the evolution, the improvement, the gaining confidence, the really, in fact, she shifted jobs, right? And she now presented on her new role, right? Which was great to see, right? It's a great evolution, and she made a.
She's inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very tough to replace, as we're finding out. I'm saying in the commercial, because Petra used to work for me, right? So on my team, right? But I like the fact that she now went to a new job, and she's already, first thing she's done is she grabbed her new CISO and co-presented at the summit, which was really, really cool. That's the way to do it.
Exactly.
So Chris Holman, which is actually also not here, but he's part of again my security team at Glasswall, and he's also somebody who presented a huge amount of stuff of the work that we've done on Jira, on the progress we've done. They've done a lot of sessions. Some of them me telling them with a couple of weeks notice that you're presenting, right, on particular topics. But they've done amazing piece of work on this. So again, congratulations, Chris, if you see this, and you really deserve this. And then same thing with Abbas. So Chris and Abbas, part of the same team, and Petra actually, and they drove a lot of the sessions that we did last year on this. And by the way, I want to say that this is the first of many that we want to do for 2021. We just went for a first list of individuals to give the awards. So Jim Monaco, he's been helping quite a bit. He actually did a couple of really cool sessions. In fact, I think he has one of the highest viewed sessions that we had, right? Jim is always Jim, right? But he definitely done a lot of stuff to help, but also to help promote the summit at other forums like OWASP, etc. He's been a really good friend of the summit and doing a bunch of sessions. So he's my thank you to Jim. He's a hell of a character, and he's a great place to learn from. So if you don't follow him, you should, right? Timo, which is basically having done a lot of great sessions, it's one of those that he keeps developing some great research, and he has done quite a large number of presentations at the summit. And some of those sessions might not be the ones that have the wider participation, but they actually are super, super powerful. And I've seen some of them have good visibility on YouTube. So sometimes, it's all about keeping the energy going and improvement. And I see Timo again, evolving on his, basically his presentations and the projects that he's developing. So congratulations, Timo. Lewis, which is here. So Lewis, you've also been quite an active participant in the summit, right? You've been done lots of sessions. Do you want to just share some thoughts?
Yeah, I think I always wanted to go to the physical security summit. I unfortunately had to go to Israel just the week before the last summit, in which Wardley and Snowden were there.
Oh.
And then I couldn't. I was at the OWASP Israel meeting before, because I had a work meeting there, so I couldn't get 2 weeks of conference that year. And I had my hopes set on the 2020 session and 2021 session, but then that was virtual. So I at least had a chance to participate, and I even took days off from work, or my official training was the SEC Summit 2021. And at some point I was like, okay, I participated a lot in that session, on those sessions which were remote, shared a little bit of what I could in some of them. And then I was like, well, why not just take part in this more actively, not just listening or consuming, but actually jumping into the ring and seeing what I can bring to the community as well. So I've had a lot of fun. Thank you for accepting my talk so far. It's been fun.
Yeah, cool. And I think you kind of represent for me what the best of the summit, right? You evolve in sessions, you contribute, right? You evolve your research, right? And that's and that's how I grew up, right? I did a lot of this in the early days of OAS, where I would use the OAS chapter meetings, the OAS conferences to present and to just explore, right? And come up with a topic and going, oh, I'm interested in this, and then go and present it, right? So I think it's super important. So again, so congratulations and thank you. And I hope that you can continue to participate for many more years, right? And again, look, see that the summit is basically, it's what we make of it. It's all about contributing and collaborating and exploring.
I agree. I think this is a format that once you try it out, going back to the old format in which you just basically consume is kind of boring, especially when it's just a disguised vendor presentation. Then you really are out within 5 minutes. So I rather participate in most of the talks in any mini summit than any vendor disguised presentation.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I guiltily created this, helped to create a summit because it was the event that I wanted to go, right? When we were having the physical summits, and this is where, I feel that, Gemma, for example, for me is very special because she allowed me to participate in the summits, right? I remember when I was organizing the first OASP summits, I didn't have a Gemma next to me at the time, and I couldn't, right? It's almost like I felt I helped to organize one of the best freaking concerts in the planet, festivals. I had my favorite artists playing, and I couldn't go and see it, right? So what I loved about the last physical summits, right, is that I was able to participate, and I agree with you. It was the best event of the year for me, right? So cool, congratulations. So James, which I don't think he's here, has done a huge amount of really cool sessions, right? And again, has explored a lot of his ideas and a lot of really cool thoughts around incident response and we had some really, really great sessions and really great sort of events, sort of incidents response and incidents kind of events. Threat modeling, exactly.
Secure by scenario.
Yeah, secure by scenario and the threat model. In fact, I think his threat model is also one of the highest ones in YouTube, right? So so congratulations to James. I know that he's actually trying to push his secure by ideas. So what is it called? So security what? Secure by
scenario.
By scenario, yeah. And I think it's great. I think it's a great thing, right? I really hope he continues to evolve that to another level because it's a much more scalable way to do incident response simulations and ideas, right? So I really like it. And Ben, which I think was in some of the sessions earlier today, is not here. He's also quite a long time now participating in a summit. He's done a bunch of sessions. He's done some great mappings on trying to figure out how to merge ISOs and BSIMs and OASP SAMs and NISTs and frameworks all together. He's also being quite an active contributor in a whole number of sessions, even like this summit. He's in part of it. So again, Ben, thanks a lot. And Ben is also the kind of person that I really, he gets graphs in a very good and solid way and maps. So he adds a lot of contributions on it. So thank you, Ben. And we have one more award, right? There's one more award that I wanted to just make it a bit separate because I think that this person deserves a special mention, right? And he's Mario Platt. And he gets, for me, a superhero award too, right? And part of the reason is Mario's, in addition to being a great contributor and done some great presentations, right? what he's doing with ASVS is insanely, one of those really powerful, efforts. But it also shows how you get stuff done, which is you just keep doing it, right? And sometimes some sessions have a lot more people, some have less people, but he keeps evolving. And I think, Mario, it's amazing what you're doing there. And actually, I think it's the future of ASVS, but you just have to go that chasm, right? You're in that you're just crossing that desert, right? But you're making, I think, great progress, and you totally deserve this.
Thank you for that.
And I believe you also get a lot out of it, right? I think this is also a good platform for you to present your stuff and to explore your ideas, right?
Yeah, I love it, right? I don't even, I think I'm now at the point where I don't even send stuff for sessions. They just appear on my calendar and I show up and do my thing, which is good. I'm happy with that. But yeah, it's definitely been an interesting ride on all of the sessions as well. Yeah, for this year, I'd like to present also some of the stuff, but we'll work on it throughout the rest of the year.
Cool. But actually, one of the things I was just talking to Adam earlier today, even your session today, you did a really good presentation of what it is, right? And sometimes, that's what happens. You do a couple of these and eventually you come up with one that it's a really great explanation of what that project is. And I think the one you did today is actually quite good. One of the things that, again, if you have ideas that you can bounce, but I feel that we need to find a good way to promote and to basically amplify a lot of the material that gets created during the sessions, right? And I need to find a way that we can highlight that, and even for from academy, for the academy, like for the kind of universities and even at security teams, we need to find a good way to start putting the nuggets of some of the great sessions that we had throughout the summits, because I feel that some of them deserve a very good audience, right? And they need to reach out to a wider audience. So again, if you have ideas of how to do that or how we can implement that, feel free, right, to help and to share and to implement it, right? Because I feel that there's some great presentations that we've done in the past.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And I think that was the presentations for this first batch of 2021 awards. There's definitely going to be more people that are coming up, so we'll do another one in the next summit. I also want to figure out the better way to allow you guys to use your little badges if you want, where you want to use it, and also to create a page that really represents the members, and the summit members and the summit website. And hopefully, you can link to it. You can start to view it as something that you can maybe share on your CV, because hopefully that represents your industry contributions. And of course, you can add more data to it, right? I would love it in some places, and people start to use it as part of, this is what I do, this is why you should hire me. Which is, these days, whenever I interview and I hire for a role, I always want to know their active participations, their community participations, how they operate. And I believe the summit represents that, because, it's very visible in what you do. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Any final comments or observations?
Wait for the pounding to go from behind me. Sorry. I'm gonna say I will make sure that you all get your members badge and your little certificate. So you'll have all those, or you get it sent to you in the next few days. And as Dennis said, we're going to create you some pages. So any information you want on those pages, just let us know and we'll make sure it's included.
All right. And by the way, we also try to get more members, right? Especially corporate members. So again, if you know anybody, put them in touch, because I think we also give a lot of good visibility. So a final thing, thanks everybody, and let's hope 2020 is not as insane as 21 and 20, and let's continue our efforts to make the world safer.
Yes, and yeah, everyone, please stay safe and healthy. Have a great year.
Yeah.